I did hear about. I'm hearing a lot of drama going on with the whole Faze Clan situation. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Faze Clan or anything like that. It's a big name. Everyone knows who it is. I do watch a lot of esports though. Like, I'm not really super dedicated to any particular. Like, if I had to pick like any esports in particular that I like, oh, I know the people there. It'd be like LTK, SFan, all them. And then but realistically, other than that, I watch like Mortal Kombat competitions, Street Fighter competitions. I know about like Sonic and all them, Sonic Fox, and Sniper Wolf, stuff like that. But realistically speaking, I'm not super into the esports like scene. I don't know all the players. I don't know all the crazy stuff. But I do like to keep up with it. It's one of those things where it's just I want to support esports. I want to make sure that other people watch it as well. So let's go ahead and just see what's happening with the drama. See what's happening. Some Faze stuff is going on. Now I did see like on Twitter and stuff people talking about one of the players being mad because I guess like Snoop Dogg came in pretty late, and he really doesn't do much for Faze Clan. Like I didn't even realize he was a part of Faze Clan, or even like the fact that he owned Faze Clan to a certain. He's an owner. He doesn't own the whole sports team. But let's just watch. I don't know much about this, so we're gonna be learning along with me. Let me go ahead and move the subtitles up right above me though, so that YouTube doesn't. Sometimes it's really funny. The jokes write themselves with these freaking subtitles. Let's play it.
I'm gonna make this video about Faze and all the recent drama they got into, because honestly, I feel like we talked enough about Faze and their failing stock. But I went to my personal trainer this morning, and he brought the drama up to me. And this guy does not watch any Twitch or YouTube. So I figured you guys might also be curious. Let's talk about Faze, which always starts with how they're not really phasing the fuck up with their stock price. They're not phasing the fuck up at all.
Shots fired.
Less than 50 cents right now.
Ludwig.
About $31 million, even though a year ago they were worth about $400 million, at least according to Forbes.
I'll be honest with you. The vast majority of people have been telling me that esports is just not a good place to make money unless you're selling merch or getting sponsors and stuff. It's just not the best money making.
I think honestly,
method.
All these numbers could have one digit sliced off, and it'd be a little more accurate. But the fact remains that if you go to any random person on the street and you ask what Faze is, there's a high chance they know. And if you ask what TSM is, they might think you're trying to sell them a multi-level marketing scam. I feel like Faze is not what they used to be. Now, I was a kid, all right? After sophomore year in high school, I would want to go home and play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and shoot clips like Faze Fakey Got Game. But I feel like that's not what they are anymore. And I feel like that point was driven across really well.
Yeah, honestly, like, that is really where it came from. Esports really was just a bunch of people that were really smacking on Call of Duty, like really pulling off some incredible shots. And I remember, 100%, it was a big deal for, like, even back in high school and stuff, in middle school, like, people would come up to you and tell you, oh, dude, you gotta watch this clip, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch it. It was, like, a big thing, and I feel like it was a huge part of YouTube for a while there.
By Faze Tico. Now, he's a long-time content creator for Faze. He's been a creator for 10 years. I'm not really sure if he's still with Faze, but to be fair, he doesn't even know if he's still with Faze.
Oh. I'm starting to get flashbacks to when a new owner purchased the store I used to manage.
Because he doesn't have a contract with them anymore. In fact, the last contract he had was the same exact contract that Tfue had. The one that like takes 80% of all of your profits. That's what he was on.
Oh goodness!
So he got out of
Twitch is about to do the same thing to everyone. Well, not even about to. They pretty much already confirmed that's what it's going to be. A new CEO came in for Twitch, and apparently they're going to be doing like a 50-50 split now, which is horrible for content creators. And they're also trying to do this like in between thing where they can find sponsors for you, but they're gonna take the vast majority of the pay, and it's like super messed up.
But they didn't give him a new one, but they still ask him to do shoots and stuff with Faze, and then he was also given no ownership, even though he's dedicated the bulk of his life to growing Faze as a brand. And he was, I think, rightfully upset in this video, talking about.
Yeah, that sounds like I don't know this guy too much. He's a recognizable face to me. I have seen him. That's pretty messed up. Yeah, if you're a long 10 years with Faze Clan, you don't have a contract. I don't know how the contracts work necessarily. Maybe this is something that they would normally do, but that's pretty messed up. If for like 10-year commitment, And A, you don't have a contract, but they're still using you for merch?
About how it's weird that Snoop Dogg has percentage in the company, even though all he does is smoke a little bit of weed, phase up once a year, and then get a lot of money for that. It seems a little unfair, and it doesn't seem to reward.
To be fair to Snoop Dogg, they didn't bring him in with that intention either. Like 100%, Snoop Dogg was just intended to be, we are, celebrity name, and that's kind of it. Like, yeah, if FaZe Clan like actually cared about their content creators and stuff, they would probably be hard focusing a lot more on making sure that he does either Let's Plays, collaborations, shots with Snoop Dogg. But I haven't really seen a whole lot of that, realistically speaking. Not that I'm on top of every single FaZe Clan stream or anything like that, but I haven't really heard much about it. I didn't even realize Snoop Dogg was an owner. Like I said, I didn't even know Snoop Dogg was like an owner. I didn't know he was contracted the same way that the other like FaZe Clan members are contracted. Like I totally thought that was like, oh, this is an advertisement. We hired for I thought it was like a publicity stunt, basically. I didn't realize Snoop Dogg was like all in on this. Like actually a part of FaZe Clan now. Okay, I'm learning stuff. I'm learning new stuff.
People who are actually making FaZe what FaZe is, which is a good question. What is FaZe? Like if you had to explain to an Uber driver what FaZe is, what would you say?
I'd probably say an esports team. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of an esports team. I probably wouldn't join an esports team. I would love to join something similar to like OTK, where it's just a content creation group. There's a bunch of VTuber content creation groups that I think are freaking awesome. They look cool. But I also want to make sure that my content is top tier before I even think about joining any clans, any crews. Because then, what are you bringing to the table,
I think there are a few things. They're an esports team like org. They have competitors, most notably Atlanta FaZe and their CS:GO team, which is really good. They're also like a talent agent.
All right, I'll admit I definitely watch a lot of like CS:GO content, like just because that stuff is insane, dude.
With a bunch of creators under it. They're also a brand.
You want to talk about like reflex
Champion
or paddock shots? CS:GO is the king of reflex shots and just
and
goodness.
Then they're also
it's
like
nuts.
like a content team. Like they make their own in-house content, but I don't know.
I haven't really noticed FaZe making their own in-house content. I've seen their creators making content on their own.
Seem to be more,
but I don't know if that's like
actual good ideas.
Them doing it on their own, of their own accord, or
but I
if
got
it's just
curious
like
after watching FaZe Tico's video, who owns FaZe? Like, I think we know who the owners are. You got Banks and Temper and Rain, but who actually owns it?
Good question. Is it like a board of directors?
And so I found the top 25 shareholders of FaZe. Now, these first couple are part of the SPAC. The people who basically made FaZe have the ability to go public, which makes sense. You trade off percentage
Riley
of the company
Investments,
in exchange
Riley
for the
Capital.
ability to go public. But Michael
Yeah.
Treschow,
Someone needs to have like you need to give it to an entity that could buy and sell it to the public. I got a little bit of that towards the end of my managing career. Michael Treschow, I have no idea.
All right, Lee Trink, that's the CEO, but Hubrig Limited, who's that? In fact, the only person who I know to be an owner, FaZe Apex, Youssef, is the only person on this list. I don't see FaZe Banks on here. I don't see FaZe Temper, and I don't know, maybe they bought it through some shell company, but where are their shares? Right? Even they don't have much in this company, it seems. So I did a little digging.
That is a bit strange. See, because at that point, like I like what OTK did. If you're an owner, you are a huge part of that company. You're a content creator. You are, from what I've seen, like Emeru just joined, and Emeru would be an amazing example of a content creator, a content queen, basically, who really like hammers out content, and that creator would be more dedicated to the actual team, to the actual brand, than I feel like a generic random open market like rando, an example here, so I could definitely see that being a major problem, especially for the teammates, because if the actual like owners, if the actual content creators contracted, if they're not like invested in the company, they're not going to care about the company. They really aren't. They're not.
And I found out that FaZe has a very messy past. a very messy past.
Oh.
And I feel like the story is not all the way out
It's starting
there.
to feel
I
like a
it's always
CoffeeZilla video.
mentioned by disgruntled former
Tell me,
Faze
tell me.
members about how, we got screwed over here, or this went bad there. But reading through, seems like they've been screwed over 10 ways to Sunday, and they've given up pretty much all the ownership of their company over the past 10 years. Mostly because it was run by, inexperienced kids who had way too much power, and unfortunately gave it away. But this one story, I feel like paints the picture really well. So this is 2016. Let's go back. We're going back 7 years now. And there's this app called Hubrik, a Norwegian business app that's supposed to change social media. It's run by this guy named Sebastian. So he convinces Faze that they should merge together.
Sebastian Gertz, it says. I love his last name.
And that it's a great idea, and that he'll give $10 million to this new entity, this new combination of Norwegian app in Faze Clan. They agree. They even get some funding.
So is the app going to be involved with Faze Clan? Are they going to have like a Faze app? What's the deal?
From this guy named Michael Treschow, who's like some old ass dude who just happens to have a lot of money. Turns out this guy's mostly a con man. This guy was saying they were going to revolutionize apps and destroy Twitter, and that's how we got the money from Michael, and that's how we convinced Faze to join them. None of that really was true. Hubrik was a dying social media app. But the merger still happened, and that got Hubrik a lot of shares in the company. Now, there's probably way more details about this, but when we get down to it, Michael, the guy who invested the money, now owns 7% of Faze, and then Hubrik owns, or I guess Sebastian owns 3.3%, which is almost as much as the CEO. Fun fact, he was supposed to own 15%, but they hit him with the Mark Zuckerberg. They literally
that sucks.
made his shares get diluted because they gave a bunch of shares to other people. So
that's messed up.
That's just one of probably the dozens and dozens of stories of Faze getting into bed with
so if I'm remembering correctly, it would be like they give you the 15% and then went public and then just destroyed your shares, but knowing. So they gave it to you before they knew it was going to drop. Therefore, you could argue whether it was intended for you to have less than what was the promised shares, but
mischievous actor
they technically delivered.
Fucks them over, takes some percentage of the company, and then uses that percentage to, I don't know, make money, drive this shit into the ground. If you even look at their board of directors,
I'm saying a lot of people who don't belong here.
To me,
right off the bat, the fact that there's so many people that just have nothing to do with the industry or I don't know if they don't have anything to do with the industry, but just so many people that are not recognizable, have nothing to do with it. They aren't making content, they're not doing anything. Right off the bat, it just feels like a board of directors. And as we've seen with movies and TV shows, they don't care. They just want the lowest common denominator. They want us to attack the lowest common denominator, get those views, make that money. And it's that doesn't really work in this environment. When it's a content creation team, people don't care about your copy-pasted content and lowest common denominator stuff. People want to see people for their unique personalities, I feel like, and we can have an argument on that, but that's what I feel like the vast majority of people are there to watch. I didn't know about OTK very much, but I knew about Asmongold, I knew about Emaru, I knew about Esfand, so I know those people. I didn't know OTK was a big organization or a thing until later on. I was already a fan of the majority of them before I even knew that.
With the exception of a one Calvin Snoop Dogg. Why is Snoop Dogg on the board of directors, but I don't see a single one of the original members on here? The average age of this board of directors is
That is worrying. No OG members. Basically, yeah, I mean, at that point, if all the original members sold off, then it really is just the classic, build something and sell it off to Google and then don't worry about it anymore.
50. What the fuck do these guys know about how to run an esports org?
Nothing. They know absolutely nothing.
We know the answer based off the stock.
Even Snoop Dogg doesn't know a thing about running an esports team.
Price. They know jack fucking shit.
Don't get me wrong. He's an amazing streamer. He just lights up and then plays Call of Duty. You kidding me? I would love to be doing that.
Where are the original founding members? Where do they get their money?
And I'm not doing that because I do have a day job. I'm not in California. It's still pretty they're still pretty iffy about that stuff. So I just outright don't. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of written here in their SEC filings. During the years 2021 and 2020, the company had a retainer, a consulting agreement with the original founders, and they paid them, and this is over a 6-month period, $0.7 million and then $0.9 million. And then they did the same thing in 2022. And I don't know if they still do it, but they're basically just paying them to be advisors, and they're paying the group millions a year. So that's where they're getting their share. But it seems like they have no percentage to give out anymore. So I understand Faze Tico's frustration, but at this point, he's just arguing with a bunch of 50-year-olds in a room trying to figure out how the fuck to make this company work when they have no actual idea, because the company is supposed to be hip, modern, and create culture. And 50-year-olds, I'm sorry, they're just not going to be creating gaming culture.
It's so funny because honestly, I've been hearing the same exact arguments for the latest TV shows, the latest movies, the latest, like, it really is like a bunch of old people trying to, and I'm not saying I'm not old, I'm 27 years old, but what I'm trying to say here is a lot of people whose entire culture, entire worldview is so vastly different than what is currently, like, now. And these are people of the age that are not about to start getting into this stuff, if you understand, if I can make that point clear. Like, I think it's very much a possibility for people, like, look at Tim the Tatman and Dr. Disrespect. You know, definitely people closer to their middle age, but they 100% are still very engraved in the environment, in the culture, because they live it. They're in there every day. I don't expect any of these people in the board of directors of FaZe Clan to say that to Nintendo, right? But here's the thing, that, like, how often has Nintendo changed? They haven't. They found what works, and they said, we're staying here. I like my bubble. Like, they don't go anywhere. FaZe Clan is not that kind of environment where you have to be on top of it. But instead, they're going to Snoop Dogg. They're going to all these other stuff. They're starting to bring in old methods to, like, try to bring in more people. But I'll be real with you. Like none of the children that my kids hang out with or anything like that, none of them have mentioned Snoop Dogg. Like, last time I checked, you get what I'm saying?
They're just not going to do that.
I'm not hearing any, and the kids that I take care of are in middle school. They're starting to get into high school. No one's talking about FaZe Clan. Nobody's talking about Snoop Dogg. Nobody's talking about these people that.
Now it seems like we're at a bit of a standstill.
Like, you think anyone cared that Matt Damon was in Thor? Like, did you guys even know that Matt Damon was in Thor? Like, in the second one, Thor Ragnarok. Nobody even know. Like, half of the people I spoke to didn't even realize that Matt Damon was playing the pretend Loki during the play, when he's making fun of how Loki was a big hero and died a big, like, cause like, only Taika Waititi is a fan of freaking of all these people. Like, like, kids don't know who you're talking about. Look at Thor and Love and Thunder.
A bit of a
Don't get me
doomsday
wrong. I love a lot of the music in Thor, Love and Thunder, but no one recognizes that music anymore. It's a whole different environment now.
Yeah. They're going to announce their earnings and their financial results for quarter 4, March 30th, 2023, which will be very revealing. And I don't think the numbers will be very good. And that's
also another great example. Look at Wakanda Forever. Master Sam, how's it going? It's a like look at Wakanda Forever. Like, all the young characters are written so badly. They don't even act human anymore. Like, it's so like
bad.
It really is a bunch of 50-year-olds trying to copy what a bunch of teenagers
fails
are doing.
To be above $1 for 30 consecutive days might be delisted. Now, they do get 6 months from the day they go under $1.
Chaos, Nintendo,
to turn things around,
great.
But we're already, I think, 2 months
example
into this
there.
6-month period.
They know, even though they're all old heads, they know. They're like, look, kids like this. It works every time we do it. Don't change it. FaZe Clan over here is like, look, they like, you know, content clips, compilations of us taking, like, people doing cool trick shots and cool content and really, like, expert Call of Duty plays. Let's just not do any of that. Let's get Snoop Dogg. Let's get Snoop Dogg to blaze it up and play Call of Duty. Not necessarily really good, though he is a pretty good player. But not freaking FaZe Clan trick shot 360 no scope across the map crazy stuff. Like, no, people gave up. And now they're watching Tim the Tatman. Now they're watching Dr. Disrespect. They're watching people who are actually entertaining and trying to go for, like, cool shots, cool tricks. Why do you think Tim the Tatman? Every single time he sees a helicopter, Tim the Tatman will take a random shot. Why? Because he might hit it. He might hit it. Jack Frags, he's going to take that shot at the helicopter. Why? Because he might hit it, and that's a clip. That's a clip. They understand the environment. They understand Twitch. They understand the streaming platform.
And they've only gone down since then. So it's looking a bit tough. They are also, according to this
They've
article,
lost half their value.
On a fast track to run out of money. They've never been profitable and rely heavily on external investment. They have 43.9 million, or at least they did, as of September 2022, which is only enough to fund operations until November 2023.
Okay, now this I do want to put my opinion here. You know who figured out a way to completely not need any of this? That there is a solution to this problem right here. Moist Esports got that solution. Moist Esports, owned by Penguin Zero, Charlie, they pretty much make all their money on merchandising and content creation. The esports team is not super profitable. The only way to make profit is by selling merchandise, selling shirts, selling like cool stuff. So they constantly have a merchandise flow. And again, the owners make their money elsewhere. They're willing to lose money on these investments. Why? Because they know that they can push that profit on merchandising. So it's kind of like you really have to thread the needle on a lot of this stuff and understand that you may be losing a lot of money in the long run. But you know, that's why, realistically speaking, if you're going to have an esports team, it should be a crew of very dedicated people.
They're burning through, it sounds
if you're
like,
not constantly winning championships, you ain't making money.
Maybe more?
You're
That's
just not.
Crazy. On what?
But Moist Esports is the best example I can see of how to make that happen.
Phase 5 casting contest, millions of dollars for what, 200 viewers on Twitch?
On that, Chaos, me, you, and Burn Burrito have been freaking dominating Call of Duty lately, bro. Like, let's get on it. Like, I got an internship opportunity starting tomorrow. That means I won't have much availability now, but I'll keep on. Absolutely, my dude, that's awesome. I can't. That's great. If it's related to like the law stuff you were talking about, internships are a great way to do it, my dude.
Most of you guys have never even seen the show
glad
I'm
for you,
talking
bro.
about, unless you saw my mogul mail about it. So that's where Faze is.
I know it can be a pain in the butt.
Honestly,
Internships,
I don't know
especially.
what'll happen. They have a very recognizable brand, but that only goes so far. You also have to have a company behind it in some sort of ethos. And I feel like none of the board of directors, who collectively have prostates the size of a watermelon, know what the fuck to do with it.
Prostates the size of a watermelon?
Simple.
Ow! I mean, it must just slip right out when you go to the restroom.
Beat their ass. That's it, baby.
Of course, Moist Moguls. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ludwig is 100. I'm so sorry. Ludwig is 100% a part of Moist Esports too.
We gotta kick them while they are down.
Yeah, they won.
Late
They just beat them. They just beat them.
Is going up against Moist Moguls today.
They won, by the way. I'm spoiling that right now. I'm sorry to everyone. They won.
And look,
this is hilarious.
Right,
this was recorded on the day.
Faze is going downhill a little bit. They're still the big dogs in this fight. They still got $40 million in the bank. And
yeah,
what do we got? We got Ludwig and we got Moist Critical, who have put their money and minds together to create one.
That's it. The owners need to be making money elsewhere. Like, they have to be content creators. This is a genius.
One of the best Valorant teams of all time. And this is one of the most important games that we will have all year, because if we win, we get to go to the mid-season invitation.
And they did. They're in the mid-season invitationals. They are in. It's freaking awesome, dude.
And maybe some big money. So anyway, tune in. This happens very soon. It might be even live right now. Go support Moist Moguls. I'd appreciate it by watching the co-stream. There should be a link in the top right corner if you have Truffle. If not, just go over to my stream. And hopefully we beat Faze.
They did. They did. Oh, I'm so excited.
Maybe if we beat them, we get phasing up. That's our thing now. They stole
phasing up.
Bankrupt, we're taking phasing up.
If they ever go bankrupt, they will. They're definitely going bankrupt. I'm just predicting that right now. If Faze is going to go bankrupt, they're not using their money wisely. A lot of these old heads are going to start pulling out their money. We already know these 50-year-olds, they're not idiots. Once they see that there's no money to be made, they're going to pull out very quickly. But they're going to pull out, and then they're going to let the company sort of fall down. And then hopefully Flamethrower Monkey can buy it for $50, and then I own Faze now. And then hopefully it'll be Flamethrower Faze. Faze Thrower Monkey, and I'll be it'll be our sports team.
Maybe they'll get someone who actually knows what they're doing as CEO.
What's up, Faze Clan? I'll buy you for $50. Like everything. I want everything though.
Not CEO, but board director. I don't know. Maybe Lee's good.
That's all I got in my pocket.
Anyway, see you later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Goodbye. Hopefully
it's law related, and I will earn some money too. Dude, that's amazing. Dude, my first, I was an externship technically, but I did an externship for about 2 months. Didn't get paid a penny, dude. America's brutal with some of their internships. That's awesome though. If you get an internship and you get money, that's resume right there, bro. That's experience. You can put that on your resume. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
don't. This is gonna be really.
And yeah,
awesome.
my dude, everything's gonna go all right. Look, you show up. Like, I'll give you the advice that my father gave me. All right, straight up. You go in there, find the oldest dude in there who has like the most experience, and you watch them, and you become their best friend, and you learn everything you can from there, dude. Don't go with people your age, people that are also interning. No. You want to be the best friend of the people who have been there the longest, because they know what's up. Trust me, dude. Like, get it.
Video.
Learn. Ask as many questions
Surely
as you possibly can. Never not ask questions. And it's gonna go great. Guaranteed, it's gonna go great for you as long as you're asking questions. You're there to learn. And trust me, all those old people, they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, "This guy wants to learn. This is the guy I'm watching. This is the guy I want." Like, trust me. Like, just keep your head on straight and don't panic. You'll be fine. Trust. All right, my dude. So that's awesome. I really wanted to learn. And yes, for those who don't know, they did win. Like, on this day, they did win that match. I did watch it. It was friggin' amazing. That was great. A great show. It literally came to like it was good. It was good. I loved it. It was some great shots from the teams. I won't spoil too much because I definitely recommend you guys checking out the actual event. It was amazing.